The most mysterious force in the universe may not be gravity, nor magnetism, but the invisible yet ever-present power of cause and effect. Have you ever wondered why some people face hardships throughout their lives, while others experience smooth sailing? Why do some efforts yield immediate results, while others see no returns for a long time? All the answers are hidden in the truths revealed by the Buddha 2,500 years ago. In this noisy and restless world, everything seems random, but in reality, it contains a precise order. Buddhist wisdom tells us that this order is the continuity of cause and effect, a mysterious force that runs through the past, present, and future. It is not merely a simple notion of good deeds being rewarded and bad deeds punished, but a profound and complex cosmic law that governs the course of our destiny. Today, I will lead you to delve deeply into the mysteries of karmic continuity, revealing the invisible threads that influence our lives. Understanding this principle is not meant for us to passively accept fate, but to make us realize that we have the power to change it and create different possibilities. This moment, your encounter with this video is by no means accidental, but the convergence of countless causes and conditions. If you can feel a certain resonance, please write Namo Amitabha Buddha in the comment section. This will open a special connection among practitioners and is also your first step in commencing the practice of karma cultivation. The concept of dependent origination does not arise from nowhere. It originates from the fundamental wisdom of Shakyamuni Buddha's enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. On that silent night, he not only saw through his past and present lives, but also gained insight into the fundamental laws governing the operation of the universe and all phenomena. In the oldest Pali Canon, the Agamas, the Buddha described the law of causality as follows: because this exists, that exists; because this arises, that arises; because this does not exist, that does not exist; because this ceases, that ceases. These 16 words succinctly reveal the interdependence and causal relationships of all phenomena. The Buddha called this principle dependent origination, which is what we refer to today as the continuity of cause and effect. There is a widely circulated story that vividly illustrates the power of the continuity of cause and effect. Venerable Ananda once asked the Buddha, world-honored one, why do some practitioners attain enlightenment quickly while others require many years of arduous practice? The Buddha, accompanied by Ananda, came to the banks of the Ganges River and pointed to 2 fallen leaves in the water, saying, "Look, these 2 leaves appear to drift with the current, but in reality, each follows its own distinct course. This is because their past positions were different and they experienced different water currents, so their current directions are also different. The cultivation consciousness of sentient beings is thus, due to different accumulations in past lives, the karmic results in this life naturally vary. As Buddhism developed in India, the concept of the continuity of cause and effect was continually deepened. After the rise of Mahayana Buddhism, the Avatamsaka Sutra further expanded this concept. Within a single thought are countless worlds. Within countless worlds are countless beings. Within countless beings are countless karmas. And within countless karmas are countless results. This reveals the vast and profound continuity of cause and effect, surpassing ordinary human imagination. In China, the concept of causality and continuous sequence has integrated with indigenous culture, forming a unique understanding. The Tang Dynasty eminent monk Xuanzang, in his Great Tang Records on the Western regions, recorded the profound explanations of karma and causality by Indian monks, injecting new vitality into Chinese Buddhism. The 6th patriarch of the Chan school, Master Huaining, interpreted causality from the perspective of intuitive experience. Unlike the conventional understanding of past life causes and present life effects, or future life results and present life agents, his explanation was simple and direct, yet contained boundless wisdom. In Tibetan Buddhism, the continuity of cause and effect is regarded as the essential core of practice. The Nyingma patriarch, Guru Padmasambhava, once said, "Those who do not believe in cause and effect are not disciples of the Buddha, thus highlighting the importance of karma. Tibetan Buddhism provides a detailed exposition of the 12 links of dependent origination, illustrating how sentient beings endlessly cycle through samsara within the chain of cause and effect. Even in modern society, the wisdom of the continuity of cause and effect continues to shine with eternal brilliance. It is not merely a religious belief, but also a life philosophy that helps us understand the essence and meaning of life. When modern physicists explore the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, they are astonished to find how closely it resembles the Buddha's teaching on the interdependence of all things. From ancient times to the present, the continuity of cause and effect has always been at the heart of Buddhist wisdom, transcending time and space to guide countless practitioners on the path to enlightenment. Today, this ancient wisdom continues to reveal a profound truth to us. Each of our thoughts and every action we take are shaping our destiny and the world. To understand the core essence of the continuity of cause and effect, one must first comprehend what constitutes a cause and what constitutes an effect. In Buddhism, karma not only refers to outwardly visible actions, but also includes the thoughts and intentions deep within our hearts. A tiny thought is like a sown seed, a mindful action is like the watering, and various external conditions are like sunlight and soil. These elements work together, ultimately bearing the fruitful results. Imagine a powerful thought arising in your mind, like a seed falling onto the field of your heart. If you allow it to grow unchecked, it will manifest as verbal criticism, social exclusion through actions, and may ultimately lead to the breakdown of interpersonal relationships. This is the process from cause to effect. Conversely, if you recognize it immediately as it arises and transform it with wisdom and compassion, then this cause will not bear the fruit of suffering. Continuity refers to the uninterrupted process of succession. Our lives are not a series of isolated events, but a flowing river. Each fruition, once matured, immediately becomes a new cause, continuing to influence the future. It is like dominoes, one falling against another, creating an endless chain. In Buddhism, there is a core concept called karmic force, which is the concrete manifestation of the continuity of cause and effect. The general term karma refers to actions or deeds, but it is not merely a physical act. More importantly, it involves our intention and choice. Every thought, word, and action leaves an imprint in our consciousness, forming karma. These karmic effects influence our patterns of thinking, emotional responses, and life experiences. For example, if a person habitually lies, it is not merely an external behavior, but a pattern that forms within their consciousness. Over time, lying becomes increasingly easier and may even become an instinctive response. This karmic influence can affect his interpersonal relationships, social status, and even inner peace. This is how karma manifests in our lives. Buddhism holds that karma has 4 distinct characteristics. First, the inevitability of karma. You reap what you sow. This is not the arrangement of some mysterious force, but the natural law governing the operation of the universe. Just like the action and reaction forces in physics, it is an inevitable law. Secondly, the proliferative nature of karma. A tiny seed can grow into a towering tree. Similarly, a small action can produce a profound impact. In the Agamas, it is recorded that if a pinch of salt is thrown into a pot of boiling water, the water becomes unbearably salty. But if the same amount is thrown into a vast river, the taste remains completely unchanged. This teaches us that the same actions can have varying degrees of impact, depending on the mindset and context in which they occur. Third, the indestructibility of karma. Once karma is formed, it will not mature or dissolve unless it encounters specific conditions. Otherwise, it will continue to lurk in our consciousness. It is like files deleted on a computer. Although they appear to be gone on the surface, the data still exists on the hard drive, merely awaiting the opportunity to be restored. Fourth, the variability of karma. Although karma has a certain inertia and tendency, It is not an unalterable destiny. Through mindfulness, awareness, and practice, we can transform the course of karma. Just like a boat sailing in a river, although influenced by the current, through steering and adjustments, we can determine the direction of the boat. In Buddhism, the continuity of cause and effect also has another important dimension, which is the 12 links of dependent origination. This is the Buddha's precise description of the process of the cycle of life. Ignorance leads to formation, volitional actions, and formation leads to consciousness. Consciousness gives rise to name and form. Name and form give rise to the 6 sense bases. The 6 sense bases lead to contact, and contact leads to sensation. Desire leads to attachment. Attachment leads to grasping. Clinging leads to existence. Existence leads to birth. Birth leads to aging and death. This chain describes how we transition from one life to another and how, in a state of ignorance, we're driven by various desires and attachments. It is important to note that each link in this chain can be broken. When we illuminate ignorance with wisdom, the entire chain begins to dissolve. Now, you might ask, if the continuity of cause and effect is so intricate and profound, how can we clearly perceive our own karma and future trajectory? In fact, ordinary people find it truly difficult to fully comprehend all causal relationships. It is like how we cannot see all the dust particles in the air, yet we know they exist and affect our breathing and health. However, the Buddha teaches us to observe our present thoughts and actions, for they're the seeds of future karmic results. Through the practice of mindfulness, we can gradually become more sensitive and aware, able to recognize thoughts as soon as they arise and make wise choices. However, the continuity of cause and effect is far more complex than this. It involves the mutual influence between ourselves and sentient beings, as well as the accumulation from past lives. In Buddhism, the continuity of cause and effect is not only a phenomenon at the individual level, but also extends to collective and cosmic levels. The Avatamsaka Sutra presents a famous metaphor. One flower contains a whole world. One leaf embodies the Tathagata. This signifies that every tiny existence is interconnected with the entire universe, and each individual's karma influences and is influenced by the collective karma. The Tiantai school's theory of 3,000 realms in a single thought takes this interconnection to the extreme. A single thought contains 3,000 worlds, and each world contains 3,000 worlds, continuing infinitely. This tells us that causality is not linear but networked like a vast web, with each node interconnected with others. In the koans of Zen Buddhism, there is a story that vividly illustrates the complexity of the continuity of cause and effect. During the Tang Dynasty, Master Baizhang of Chan Buddhism was always accompanied by an elderly man who stayed behind to listen after his daily Dharma lectures. One day, the elder told Baizhang, "In my past life, I was a compassionate Dharma master. Due to mistakenly answering a question about cause and effect, I fell into the form of a wild fox for 500 lifetimes. Please, master, utter a turning phrase without losing the form of a wild fox." An elder asked, "Do great practitioners still fall under cause and effect?" Baizhang replied, "No, they do not fall under cause and effect." Upon hearing this, the old man immediately attained enlightenment and was freed from the form of the wild fox. This story teaches us that even those who have attained high levels of practice cannot transcend karma. Rather, they gain a clearer insight into the workings of cause and effect and are able to skillfully apply this understanding. Not being bound by causality means not being deluded by the law of cause and effect, yet it does not deny the existence and influence of causality. The continuity of cause and effect is interpreted and emphasized differently among various Buddhist traditions. Theravada Buddhism emphasizes the accumulation and eradication of individual karma, focusing on purifying one's karmic obstacles through the observance of precepts and spiritual practice. Mahayana Buddhism places greater emphasis on the bodhisattva and altruistic actions in influencing karma, asserting that altruistic deeds can generate more powerful, wholesome karma, thereby accelerating the process of liberation. In Tibetan Buddhism, practitioners of Vajrayana transform the flow of karma directly at the energetic level through visualization and the adjustment of the subtle channels and vital points. They believe that karma exists not only on the psychological level, but also on the energetic level, and that through specific practices, the transformation and evolution of karma can be accelerated. The Pure Land School proposes a unique perspective. Through faith in Amitabha Buddha and the practice of reciting his name, one can, with the power of Amitabha's vows, be reborn in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss, where they continue their cultivation until attaining final liberation. This does not deny causality, but utilizes a higher level of causal law, taking faith in the recitation of Amitabha Buddha's name as the causes and the compassionate guidance of Amitabha Buddha as the source, to realize the result of rebirth in the Pure Land. Now, we need to clarify a common misunderstanding. The continuity of cause and effect is not fatalism. Many people mistakenly believe that karma is predestined and unchangeable. In fact, the Buddhist view of causality precisely emphasizes our agency and the power of choice. An important concept in the Yogacara doctrine is called the manifestation of seeds or the conditioning seed. Seeds refer to the latent karmic potentials. Manifesting refers to the manifestation of these karmic potentials, and conditioning refers to the influence of new actions on the latent karmic potentials. This cycle teaches us that although past karma influences our present experiences, our current actions also affect future karma. It is like a farmer who cannot change the crops already sown, but can decide what to plant in the next season. In fact, Buddhism offers various methods to transform our karma. First is confession. Sincere repentance can lessen the effects of karma. As stated in the Mahaprajnaparamita, one first commits unwholesome actions and later repents. Although negative karma is not eliminated, the merits gained exceed the demerits. Repentance is not simply saying sorry. It is a profound recognition of the wrongness of one's actions and a sincere determination not to repeat them. Secondly, cultivation practice. Through practices such as meditation, mantra recitation, and Buddha remembrance, we can purify our minds, reduce the influence of negative karma, and strengthen the power of positive karma. Just like clearing a fertile land, making it easier for the seeds of wholesome karma to grow. The third is to practice goodness and accumulate virtue. Engaging in positive actions not only accumulates new wholesome karma, but also mitigates the impact of unwholesome karma. This is like continuously adding clear water to murky water, eventually making the water clear. The fourth is the awareness of wisdom. When we are able to be aware of our thoughts and actions, understanding their causes and effects, we can make wiser choices and avoid repeating past mistakes. It is like someone understanding the danger of fire, naturally avoiding being burned. Modern psychological research also supports these Buddhist perspectives. Cognitive behavioral therapy posits that by altering thought patterns, we can change emotional responses and behavioral patterns. Mindfulness meditation has been shown to alter the structure and function of the brain, enhancing self-regulation. These findings correspond perfectly with the Buddhist concept of karma transformation. What is the ultimate aim of the continuity of cause and effect? Buddhism holds that when we fully comprehend the operation of cause and effect and are no longer driven by various desires and attachments, we can transcend the bondage of causality and attain the state of nirvana. This is not a denial of causality, but a complete understanding of it, no longer being bound by it. Just as a person understands the principle of gravity, though unable to defy it, they can use it to fly. Similarly, practitioners who understand the continuity of cause and effect do not evade causality, but skillfully utilize it, ultimately transcending the bondage of birth and death within the cycle of samsara. Understanding the profound connotation of the continuity of cause and effect is crucial, and the key lies in transforming it into practical life wisdom. This is not an abstract philosophy, but a practical tool that can transform our daily lives. First, cultivate the habit of mindfulness. Spend a few minutes each day quietly observing your thoughts and emotions. When negative emotions such as anger and extreme greed arise, do not act immediately. Instead, observe their arising and passing away. This very awareness itself can diminish the power of these emotions, preventing them from transforming into harmful words and actions, thereby planting unwholesome causes. Secondly, contemplate cause and effect before taking action. When facing important decisions, do not only consider short-term benefits. Reflect on the long-term impact this action will have on yourself and others. This kind of forward thinking can help us avoid many regrets. For example, in the workplace, honesty may bring some inconveniences in the short term, but in the long run, it builds trust and reputation, which are invaluable assets. Third, correct the perspective on setbacks. When facing difficulties and setbacks, do not simply complain about the unfairness of fate, but reflect deeply instead. What might be the cause of this? What did I learn from it? This kind of reflection can transform setbacks into opportunities for growth. For example, a failed relationship might be due to problems in our communication methods or emotional regulation. By recognizing this, we can improve our future relationships. Fourth, progressively practice small acts of kindness. Do not wait for grand opportunities to practice kindness. Instead, seek small opportunities for good deeds in daily life. A smile, a word of encouragement, a small act of help. Each is an opportunity to sow the seeds of good karma. These small acts of goodness accumulate into powerful positive karma, influencing the quality of our lives and the direction of our future. Fifth, cultivate a heart of gratitude. Every day, record 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how big or small. This habit allows us to see the beauty in life, enhances our sense of happiness, and makes us more inclined to give back to others, creating a virtuous cycle. Finally, remember that karma is not punishment, but a tool for growth. When we encounter difficulties, we should not blame ourselves or harbor resentment. Instead, we should transform them into opportunities for learning and growth. Every experience, whether good or bad, serves as a stepping stone that helps us become better individuals. These principles do not require you to become a Buddhist. They are universally applicable wisdom that can help anyone achieve a more peaceful, wise, and happy life. When we truly understand the wisdom of the continuity of cause and effect, the entire world appears renewed in our eyes. We are no longer passive recipients of fate, but active creators of our life's journey. Every thought, every choice, and every action is weaving the brocade of our own life. As the Buddha said in the Dhammapada, the mind is the source of all phenomena. Mind follows its own inclinations. If the mind is pure and calm, tranquility and happiness will naturally follow. Like a shadow follows form. The mind is the root of all things. A pure mind brings forth pure words and actions, which in turn bring about happiness that follows like a shadow. This is the most fundamental expression of the continuity of cause and effect. In this era dominated by materialism, the wisdom of cause and effect continuity is especially precious. It reminds us that true wealth is not the number in our bank accounts, but the qualities within our hearts and the connections we share with others. True success is not external achievement, but inner peace and understanding of life. When we wake up each day, we can ask ourselves, what kind of seeds will I plant today? What kind of future do I want to create? This power of self-awareness and choice is precisely the greatest gift that the Buddha has left us. The teaching of the continuity of cause and effect is not meant to trap us in regret over the past or anxiety about the future. If this video can help you see your life from a slightly different perspective or assist you in making even one wiser choice, then the connection between us has not been in vain. Please like and share this video to help more people discover this ancient and eternal wisdom. This will be a seed of wholesome cause you have sown, which will inevitably bear marvelous fruits in the future.